Right, they motion McCaffrey backwards pass to McCaffrey, and he's going to throw downfield wide open. Brandon Ayuk, touchdown! San Francisco. He can run. He can catch.
Getting on fire.
Christian McCaffrey can throw. Schultz to the other, going to throw out left, intercepted. Diamador Lenore.
Whoa,
Dak
what a
Prescott
play.
just threw him the ball on the outcut going left to CeeDee Lamb. Diamador Lenore comes up with the game's first big play. Here's Prescott back, has time, throws out left, intercepted. Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner. Jimmy Ward tipped the ball, and Fred Warner with the INT. They're going to give it to McCaffrey coming left. McCaffrey, touchdown! San Francisco! He has thrown one, he has caught one, he has run one!
Hey,
Breezy, gritty, this that 9
Mo's nose. Peachy, fair to gone. It's about that time, everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's nose, Peachy, Breezy, and fair to gone. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you 9 to tone. We two gorilla, silverback, nah, silver
You know
hoes.
it's busting the discussion cause we get it in. Every time you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win. The faithful going hard. It's Wayne, Breezy, Peachy, Mo's nose, and fear to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. We outline players up in chalk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Line is tall. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall.
Yeah, what's going on, faithful? It's Victory Monday night. What's good, everybody? Shout out to everybody out there. Welcome to the Nitty Gritty Niners Talk Show. This is the show where we just keep it 100% gritty, and I got two of the nitty grittiest people right here. Crystal Peachy B, Mo's Nose. When I tell you they gritty, low down, gritty, shifty, grinding, whatever, that's what they do. Y'all don't know what they do behind the scenes, but they be fighting, and I got to tell them, it's okay. It's okay. You got to let your shit bubble quietly. Now, I'm saying, what's going on, Mose? What's going on, Peachy? How y'all doing? Before you answer that, I got to address GSU
Right.
for life one. Because this motherfucker ain't been in here in about 6 months. Now that he back, he already coming for your boy. Let me tell you something. You best protect your neck, sir, because the intro is 2 minutes, 21 seconds. It is not 30 minutes. It is not an hour, or however many hours you said it was. It's 2 minutes and 21 seconds. I'm going to need you to get your clock fixed. If you need an Apple Watch, let me know. I'll send you mine. I'll get a new one. All right? I'll help you out. Got you. What's going on, Mose and Peachy?
Man, it's been a crazy day. Two more days left until Thanksgiving.
2 more days left until Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Are you saying 2 more days until Thanksgiving because you're ready to eat, or are you saying
no?
Okay,
Ready to be off work.
Understood. For the break, you ready to break
for the break. I mean, I have to cook, but I'm not gonna hardly eat anything.
Okay.
No.
I got week.
All of my efforts that I've been putting in would just be in vain.
They said that they hear an echo from your mic. I don't hear an echo though, so they hear it though.
Peachy. Okay, they're saying there's an echo. I'm checking and everything.
All right, so while Peachy fixes that, Mose, what's going on?
I can't call it. Let me know if y'all hear echo from me too.
You just sound like you on.
Listen, I do hear it.
You hear it from me?
No, I hear myself echoing.
Yeah, like you sound like you in a bathtub.
Oh, Jesus Christmas. Hold on.
You know what it is? It's just StreamYard. Just go to your settings, change your settings to mic, the mic you got on. If you got on headphones, just change the speaker to your headphones. And then bada boom, bada bing, it should be fixed. This time it ain't me. I can tell you that right now. I just looked. I just looked.
That's what I got.
Now it sounds way better. So I don't know what you just did.
It sounds way better, but I still hear the echo.
Moses is echoing. And now I'm echoing. So what if he's echoing because I'm echoing?
Or what if you're echoing because he's echoing? Either way, we got to fix the echo. So to GSU for Life 1, welcome to the show. We're going to get it fixed, though. Y'all might have to reset, redo y'all browser. Am I echoing out there, ladies and gentlemen?
No. You sound perfect.
How you know?
Because I can hear you.
Yeah, but I don't hear an echo from y'all. So that's why I said, how do you know?
Which is weird because I can hear my own echo and I can hear Moses' echo.
So what we do is we make tracks over here, man. We got the delay. You're muted right now. Or we don't even hear you. I see you sign languaging.
Uh-oh.
Here's what I would do. I would leave the stream, reset my computer, and come back. That's what y'all should do. It'll just be me. Which they seen me earlier. You don't hear echo now? Check. Mose? No? God dang it. I'm not editing this out for the podcast, too. I'm not. I just don't feel like it. I don't even hear you talking right now, Mose. Guys, how are you guys doing out there? You know, I asked everybody else how they doing. You know what I'm saying? I asked the panel. Nigel, Felicia, what's going on out there? All right, it's your boy Breezy. Welcome to the Wayne Breezy Show. I'm just playing. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what Guan. I just know that y'all heard the echo. I don't hear an echo. Miss Debbie, what's good? Now, while we're here, let's go ahead and get to the Facebook winner. Now, listen, I got an announcement about the Facebook and the weekly score prediction giveaway. Listen. Make sure when you post the score prediction, it's to the main score prediction. It's got to either be by Miss Debbie or myself. That's going to be the main one. You'll see it. It'll be a graphic and all that kind of stuff. So make sure that's where you put your score prediction so it doesn't confuse where Miss Debbie has to go to look for the winner. But we do have a winner for this week's score prediction. Not sure what the score prediction was, but Miss Debbie said that they were the winner, and so we're going to go with them. So let's go ahead and make some noise. Hold on. I got to get the name out. Drum roll. Is there a drum roll? Now, I know I typed it in here. So maybe
that's better.
I'm talking, so I can't tell as of yet. There it is. Facebook winner. Boom. Here we go. Drum roll. Tony Cola Marino. Is that a dope name? Tony Cola Marino. Tony Cola Marino. I think that's an official name. Tony Cola Marino. I'm probably saying it wrong, and I don't mean to. But if you're watching, congratulations. You are the winner. All right. And on top of that, all right, make sure you hit up Miss Debbie or me, and we'll make sure we go ahead and get the prize out. So let's get them back on here so we could test out the waters. Peachy, let's go with you first. And I don't hear an echo. I never did. So get you talking.
Okay, hello.
Echo from Peachy? Any echo? Mo's got the thumbs up, meaning that there's no echo. Okay, Mo's, you're in. Echo from Mo's. Echo. Check. No echo. Echo?
Are we good?
They still say yep.
They still hear echo from us.
Do they hear an echo from Mo's though?
Yes. Because I can hear myself.
What in the hell did y'all do to y'all computers? You know what this is? I can tell you what this is. This is the devil.
It gotta be nothing but.
I'm gonna tell you why it's the devil. Because the devil wants you to go out on Black Friday and buy a new computer. That's what he's trying to do. Trying to make you spend money y'all ain't got. And that's what the devil do. Now y'all got echoes, and we can't figure out why.
And when I check echo cancellation, that's when it muted me, but I wasn't on mute.
What if it's me?
Hello. Uh-oh. Breezy, the last time that happened, this was you.
Yeah, don't try to blame it. I'm telling you, it ain't me because don't nobody motherfucking hear me echoing, so it can't be me.
That's not what we're saying. What
I'm saying is it's not me, is what I'm saying. I know what happened last time. I switched. I make sure
it was your controls.
from now on, my control's on my speaker. The last time it was on the mixer, which was causing the loop. It's not on the mixer. Interesting.
I don't know.
Well,
do I still have one?
No, you just got extra loud though.
Yeah.
I'm just flipping buttons.
So I mean, we can kind of figure out the echo, right? Like we can kind of work around it, right? Like how bad does it sound on a scale of 1 through 10? 10 being the worst. How bad is it? I'm just curious to know. Because if not, we're gonna have to figure it out. Both are echoing. Oh, we can hear you guys loud and clear.
I hit echo cancellation, but it sounded like it made it worse.
Can I ask y'all this question then?
Mm-hmm.
What's good?
When you go to settings, can you just read to me what it says in the speaker box?
For speaker for me, it's my AirPods.
And then for your mic, it's your mic, right?
It's my Rode into USB.
Okay. And Peachy, what does yours say?
It's a Shure in both.
Peachy, where do you have your headphones plugged into?
My microphone.
That should be fine. That should be fine. I'm just curious to see like
I don't have anything checked on there, like any of those four boxes.
I mean, you could check the last one, okay. But I'm just trying to figure out why you guys are getting the loop feedback. I don't get it.
I don't know.
And you guys restarted your computers, not the internet, right? Because y'all came back bad quick. Yeah, I would do that because it could be a computer setting and your settings in your computer.
But you know how we have it set up now.
Mm-hmm.
It's how we set it up. Mad long. Remember when we was having that.
Yeah, but that whole time it was me.
Over each other.
That whole time it was me because my speaker was on this mixer. Watch, I'm gonna put it on the mixer so you can hear it. And it, you know what? Maybe it is me.
Breezy, if it was you this whole time.
No, it's not. I didn't do anything. But I'm just telling you what I got set up. So maybe I need to reset my computer. Because why would you guys be echoing if your thing is set up right? But it's just weird because I don't have an echo. Talk again.
Check, mic check.
Okay, I know what it is. I think I'm gonna reset my settings, and that's weird. I'm gonna reset my settings. That's just weird. Talk again.
Says, speak softly. It's not as bad.
It speaks soft. Is your echo going?
Wait, check, mic check. I don't hear myself.
Right.
I don't hear myself echoing anymore. If you can hear me.
I can hear you. So let's do this. Hold on.
Can they hear me? And do I have an echo to them?
Do you have echo now?
Sound Grip said it worked.
Do you have an echo?
I don't.
Can you hear yourself though?
No, I don't hear myself like I did. T-Jack says no echo. That
Okay.
Brooke says go on. Chrissy says it's good.
Interesting. All right, echo gone. When Peachy comes back, it'll be gone. I have no idea what that was.
Yusef said Breezy doesn't have an echo. It's Mike. Somehow it's Mike's fault.
Hello?
No, it's not Mike's fault.
No echo.
All right, the echo's gone.
I mean, I restarted it. Maybe that fixed it. I don't know.
Or could it just... I restarted my computer settings.
Okay. Well, one of us. That's cool.
So I think that helped. I hope. Okay. So we're in there like swimwear, which is weird because I don't even see how I'm hearing y'all. Talk again.
Check, mic check.
Hello.
I'm not getting any volume from y'all.
Uh-oh. Can people hear us? I guess they can because they said PG's good, all good now.
They can hear you, but that ain't good for me.
So y'all can't hear us now?
Is the echo back?
No. I don't have echo.
I'm confused.
Let this just be a temporary fix for the show. People is good. They don't have an echo from us.
Is the echo back now?
Check. Mic check. No.
Okay.
Gotta love technology, man.
It happens to the best of them.
I do this every day, and sometimes
they say it's back. They say it's there. What does that mean? Yup, still there. Yup, yes, echo.
I don't have an echo. Callie says that we're straight.
John says no echo. Rob D says no echo.
Right.
Chrissy
Callie says we're
good.
straight.
Oh, okay.
Yusef says yes, we all good. Tanisha, Val Brooks.
Okay.
All right.
All right, well, let's talk about the echo because the Niners have been echoing wins for the past couple of weeks, so like that's a good thing. You know what I mean? They just came out here and I wouldn't say they destroyed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they defeated them. They didn't put up 30, Peachy or Mose. A little confusing. I thought the Niners needed to get the 30 points to win.
Yep.
But it's a victory Monday. Like, what were you guys most impressed about in the game? Give me one thing that most impressed you in the game. Let's go Peachy first now, since there's no echo.
I was impressed by Jair Brown. I thought that he dusted off, getting beat on the first one where they just attacked him because, he had just got out there. I figured, he just got to shake off the heebie-jeebies a little bit. But after that, he was really good. And especially what he did in the red zone was just great. So that's where it was.
Brown.
It was Jair Brown. Yep.
Third round draft pick for the San Francisco 49ers in the 2023 NFL draft. I like it. Is that Mike Andrews right here? Is that our Mike? There can't be another person named Mike Andrews, right? Michael Andrews. Or is he Mike Andrews? Mike, don't be changing up the stuff. Because he be coming here as secret agent man.
Right.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I'm saying? The reason why I asked that, because Mike said he was trash. Go watch No Harm, No Foul. Mose.
Said he was trash after that game?
No, I was just trying to segue to Mose. I wanted to get your most impressive. You can have that conversation with Michael Andrews.
My young boy Jair from Trenton, from T-Town.
I just want him to come back
from
with
Jers.
I'm just saying. Just
right in Mike.
That's
right
crazy
in Mike's backyard?
that he would say that the Jersey boy was trash.
What?
All right. I'm lying. He didn't say he was trash, but he was. Oh, it's not the same guy, but it's the same name.
Oh,
it is a
my
different
bad.
Mike.
I'm sorry.
Oh wow! It is a different Michael Andrews.
You get the flex ball for that one. He just flexed on us.
We thought
dope.
Mike was trying to be slick.
I thought Mike was. So y'all don't know Mike like we know Mike. Mike. Anyway, sorry about that, Michael Andrews. When I saw Michael, I thought it was different, but nah. But seriously, he didn't say that he was trash. He said that he didn't play as well as people think he did. And I was just like, dude only had 2 targets. How well did you want him to play?
Right. And I mean, the second one was a game changer. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Don't know
right?
what it's
Well,
but
yeah,
I think
because
both of them were game changers.
Well,
Weren't they on
no. Because
red
he only
zone possessions?
had 2 targets though. So like, if you look at Jair Brown's targets, it was the Mike Evans joint, and then it was the one he got beat.
Okay.
But the one that he caught the interception in the end zone wasn't him. It wasn't on him.
Right.
And the
He
pass
was in the
that
right
was
place
dropped
at the
by
right time.
he was at the right place. Yeah. All right, so Peachy, that's a great one. Mose, give me something that most impressed you from the game.
Brandon motherfucking Ayuk. 5 for 156, a touchdown. We finally throw him a deep ball. We finally see his long speed pause. We finally see him beat somebody deep, a 76-yard touchdown pass. I've been waiting for that BA's entire career with this team. For them to just give him a go route, give him a fly route. Let him beat somebody one-on-one, catch it in stride, and walk it into the end zone.
Yeah,
Kyle
boy.
called it. BA ran a perfect route. Brock threw a perfect ball. 5 for 156 and a touchdown. He's really maturing into that go-to number one type wide receiver. Everybody's talking about, at the end of the season, we got so many guys under the cap. Can we keep 2 wide receivers at that number? We're going to need to figure out a way, because we can't let this guy, let Cincinnati find a way to pay him, and they got Ayuk and Chase.
Yeah.
Ooh,
No,
Lord,
T
yes.
Higgins might
I
leave.
can't even imagine.
Higgins might leave.
Yeah.
But if T. Higgins leave and they like, well, we need to replace that production, let him end up in Cincinnati with Chase and Burrow. Let him end up in Kansas City. Kansas City act like they don't need a true number one wide receiver, but let them get a true number one wide receiver that's a solid route runner back into that offense. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I do. I
And
I can't even.
that
I can't
Kansas
even
City would
imagine.
come after him.
I can't even imagine this team without Brandon Ayuk.
Right.
I think the energy. He's a different type of energy out there. He's an energy on the football field energy guy. He's real quiet, but I can't imagine how Brock Purdy would play without Brandon Ayuk, because when you look at Brandon Ayuk, he has 831 yards off of 43 receptions. I want that to sink into everybody. He almost has he needs 169 more yards to have 1,000 yards. He's
Already.
about to eclipse that 1,000-yard mark with only 60 targets.
Yeah.
He's only been targeted 60 times, and he missed one game this year? So wait a minute.
Yeah.
He missed the game. Let me just. He missed the game.
Yes.
Yep.
He's only been targeted 60 times, and he has 831 yards, 4 touchdowns, and averaging 19 point something per catch.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's averaging. No, my bad. No,
In this game, he averaged 32 point yards per catch.
Yeah. Season, you're right. It's 19.3.
But when I ask myself this question, I'm saying, don't take this wrong, because I'm not trying to steal Brandon Ayuk's thunder. But when you got Debo on this football field, I just feel like he unlocks everybody. Like, he literally is the key for Brandon Ayuk to be number one. He's the key for George Kittle to be whatever he is you need him to be. He's the key. First play of this game. It was a reverse. It was a wide receiver run for a -1 yards. Brandon Ayuk, the blocking was terrible, and he tried to get 1 yard out of it, and he lost 1. He actually lost more than 1, but he gained some yards to only make it a -1 yard loss. And then on the next play, because Kyle Shanahan went left to right on the first play, oh, Vita Vea, guess what? Your big behind gonna have to run this way or this way. Figure out which way you doing. On the next play, Brock Purdy in the pocket threw 24-yard pass to George Kittle right down the middle. Play action. How you run a negative play, run play, and do play action on the next play? Make that make sense. Usually, if it's a negative play, on the second play of the game, you ain't running play action. Yo, when I tell you, that's what Debo, in my opinion, helps enhance with Kyle Shanahan's offense. To a guy, there's no number 1, there's no number 2, there's no number 3, there's no number 4. When I throw it to you, you make stuff happen. Brandon Ayuk, in my opinion, is definitely a top 10 wide receiver in the league. And I put him up against some of these big dogs. What would you say? Let me ask you this question. I just did the show for Bleacher Report. That's what I finished doing. If you guys follow me on Bleacher Report, man, download the BR app, type in Wayne Breezy. I go live there every once in the blue moon. But just did a show about Brandon Ayuk being a top receiver in the NFL. And I had to back it up with facts. I wanted to make sure I knew what the hell I was talking about. And I said to myself, wait a minute. He has 831 yards. Do you guys know there are only 4 receivers with 1,000 yards right now? Can you guess the 4 without looking them up?
Tyreek Hill.
That's number 1.
A.J. Brown.
He's in there, top 4.
Keenan Allen been going off because he on my fantasy
Keenan
team, so he
Allen,
gotta
top
have
4.
1,000.
Top 4.
And Chase ain't been doing good. Jetta's been injured. Who else been going crazy?
You would have to put CeeDee Lamb in there.
CeeDee freaking Lamb, yo. CeeDee
Sedarius?
Lamb. CeeDee Lamb, bro.
Mm-hmm.
CeeDee Lamb. So you mentioned Jamar Chase, and you guys know I love me some Jamar Chase. Yo, Brandon Ayuk literally has 2 less yards than him and 42 less receptions. Excuse me, targets. It's ridiculous, bro.
He's efficient.
Here's my issue with the Niners and Brandon Ayuk. They just don't throw him the damn ball. All them other wide receivers, they feeding it. They forcing it. They giving it to him. The quarterbacks is giving it to him. You the guy, you getting the ball. And Dallas, CeeDee Lamb is the man. And Philly, A.J. Brown, the man. And Los Angeles, Keenan Allen, the man. In Miami, Tyreek Hill, believe it or not, is the man. They'll get whatever they get from Jalen Waddle. But Tyreek Hill is the man. I don't think Ayuk is the man in San Francisco. What do you guys think?
Now, I'm looking at this list, and you are absolutely right. If you look at the top receivers in the league that's on this list, Tyreek Hill, 108 targets, CeeDee, 95, Keenan Allen, 113, A.J. Brown, 92, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 98, Puka Nacua, 103.
Isn't that mean they the man?
110.
They the
DJ
man.
Moore, 80.
They the man.
Jamar Chase, 106, and Brandon Ayuk, 61. Now, the only thing is, that's 9 different teams that's above us. Bengals, Bears, Bills, Rams, Lions, Eagles, Chargers, Cowboys, Dolphins. The only one of those teams that have a semblance of a running game, I would think,
Miami
would be the Miami. Because they was going off early, but then Mostert and Achane got hurt. So is it because we have a more formidable running game, which is why he's not getting a lot of those targets?
Nah, because
we don't have to force feed him in. Because I agree with you. I think he should have 100 targets. But is his target being broken up because of those 9 other teams? We have the best running game. Then we also have a tight end like George Kittle and somebody like Deebo Samuel that we got to get the ball to as well.
That's a great question. It's like pick your poison. like literally. I mean, when you're a balanced team, the only reason why I don't know if I could push back on that. I mean, they're gonna give the ball to Tyreek Hill. He's gonna get the ball in Miami. Like that,
right.
That is who Tua is comfortable with. I don't care. Tyreek Hill gonna get the ball, but I think that's my issue. I'm watching Brock Purdy and Brandon Ayuk. They have a rapport. Like, it's ridiculous. They have a connection. It's deep. And when your quarterback just stands in the pocket, first of all, can we give Brock Purdy some props before we break Brock Purdy down? We finally got a quarterback that just knows what the hell man coverage looks like, and he finds it. He just finds it. He's waiting for it. I think he's waiting to see what these defenders are. They going to play zone? Or are they going to man up? And when they man up, the ball's going to him. Brock Purdy don't care who you are. He don't care if you Kyle Juszczyk in man coverage. You could be. He don't care if he sees you in man. He's throwing the ball. He's getting the ball to that guy, and he trusts his man to make the play on that particular pass. He just got to deliver the pass. That's why I wanted to give him some props. We talked about that 76-yard play. That wasn't the only play Brandon Ayuk chewed up. He had a 37 banger. Mm-hmm. He had 2 explosive plays that got him over 100 yards. But my issue is, when Deebo wasn't there, why didn't you just get the ball to Brandon Ayuk? I felt like for 2 halves he had 56 yards, and then you just didn't use him.
Yeah. It's really not making sense. And I mean, if you look at the splits, Tyreek Hill has 108 targets, right? Jalen Waddle has 67.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
41 more targets.
I didn't even peep that.
Than Jalen Waddle. But if you look at our two top guys, Brandon Ayuk has 61, George Kittle has 56. So that's only a 5-target difference.
It's close.
Now, again, with how, we did go on that 3-game losing streak, but with how we were winning games and the amount of points that we were putting up and how efficient we were being in the run game, we didn't have a need to pass because obviously, BA only has 61, Kittle only has 56. We don't have anyone who has targets above 70.
Mm-hmm.
But then that also begs the question, why are we not blowing teams out the water? Like the Cowboys game was cool. We put up 42, held them to 10. Great. Like we talk about 30 Purdy. Like, I don't know. If we were just more high powered, and that sounds weird to say because we are a high powered offense. We can score at will. It's just like, and I know Kyle will say it's not about the numbers. We're not looking to win on the stat sheet and be the highest scoring team and have the best quarterback and the best receiver and all this stuff like this. But when BA does what he does, and we know what Christian's able to do, and we know what Debo brings as an emotional leader, as the energy, as the spark, but also with the ball in his hands, and then we have Kittle as well, it's like the potential for us to be doing so much more. Like you said it at the beginning, we didn't really crush the Buccaneers. We won the game.
Mm-hmm.
We could have put up 50 on them.
Yeah.
So it's like, because the potential is there, why aren't we seeing it? And because he's so good, I want to talk about, and I think we still are going to talk about him this way because we see it. But I want to be able to say, yeah, BA got 100 targets and he got 80-something catches and he's got 1,300 yards and this many touchdowns because he is that dude. He's capable of it. He's been proving it all season. His numbers may not match some of those guys that are in the top of the league, but he's also not on those offenses. And, GSU, I don't know if he's trolling or serious. He says, that weakens my argument that, because those teams don't have running games, those wide receivers are unstoppable. I wouldn't say unstoppable because against the Bills, Tyreek Hill didn't do much of anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, they game plan for him and took his behind out. They game
plan for him and took him out.
Yeah.
So when you're force feeding somebody, numbers are going to come. When you're force feeding Tyreek Hill 108 targets, yeah, he's going to catch a majority of those.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen is probably the only option they have. Mike Williams got injured. Gerald Everett is a so-so tight end. Austin Eckler was hurt earlier in the year. So, of course, the offense got to move the ball and put up points. So, of course, you're going to force feed one of the best route runners to play the game. He's got 113 targets and 83 catches. So, it's not that they're unstoppable. It's that is who the offense goes through. And we have an offense with an abundance of talent that, based on what the defense gives us, that's then who Kyle decides is going to be the guy for that game. So yesterday it was BA. Thanksgiving, it may be Kittle, it may be CMC, it may be Debo's game. He'll have 6 for 130 and 2 touchdowns. Whatever the case may be, it's whatever the defense dictates determines then who Kyle is going to feature because of the favorable matchup. But don't let that get you twisted that BA is not an elite wide receiver, because he proved to us over and over again that he is.
Okay. Peachy, quick question, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that I got to ask this question. It's a tough question. Brandon Ayuk's in his contract year. And I'm sure to get paid top receiver money that the organization will do some things, to get a discount, Now, if Brandon Ayuk gets the ball in his hand, whatever he does with the ball, that's on Brandon Ayuk. But do you think that the reason why we don't see, not the force feeding to Brandon Ayuk, but if he's this such of a playmaker, if he's this guy, if he's this dude, if he's this elite, do you think maybe that they're trying to keep certain statistics low so he doesn't reach certain factors so that they can pay him on potential? Well, you didn't get this, but you do have the potential to get it, but you didn't get it. Do you think this could be something that the Niners are doing? I always got to ask this question, especially about wide receivers, because of the Wes Welker story. So I'm just curious to know, and I know you know that story, so that's why I'm asking you this question.
It's a 49er way. Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Like, yeah. Definitely. They're definitely trying to find a way to get him at a reasonable price by doing that. 100%. That's what they're trying to do.
Right. Like not a reason. I would say the Niners are trying to pay Brandon Ayuk their price.
Right. What they consider a reasonable price, yeah.
Which is still going to be good money, but it's their price.
Right.
Opposed to what Brandon Ayuk may be able to get.
Would walk out on the market and get you.
They own his rights, though, so that makes it, crazy. I agree, Mose and Peachy. Ayuk and Jair Brown, I thought that was definitely something positive to see, especially for the rookie who was thrown in the fire. And, he came out. He came out pretty daggone good, When you look at Jair Brown and you look at the first play, targeted, 41, explosive play, right at the bat, and then he didn't let it fault him.
That's right.
He found a way to readjust in coverage, and I thought the biggest play was the PBU on Mike Evans. That to me was like, snap, because Mike Evans, that was scary. Because if Baker throws it higher, Mike's winning that 50-50 ball.
Yeah.
No question.
Off of the position of the way Jair was playing that.
Right.
Because he got beat, but he closed out. So it's going to be...
Got his head around.
That
was beautiful.
To not cause the pass interference.
Yeah.
But you got a guy who's 6'5", has a wingspan of somebody who's 6'10".
He's a basketball player. I got you.
And there
mouse in the house. Throw that up.
That's big. That throw was bad. But
Mayfield.
No. Because now I got to give my man Isaiah Oliver some credit. Because Isaiah Oliver blitzed, which forced Baker to kind of hitch on the throw. Like, the blitz was there, and Baker was like, "Oh shoot!" And then he kind of, and then he didn't have the loft in it anymore, because the first loft that he was throwing would have been it. And then because he had to kind of wheel it in real quick, watch it again. I'm hoping it pops up right here. Nope, not there. But watch it again. Like, it's like a quick, oh shoot, nope, yes. Baker doesn't have that arm strength unless he steps into the pass, because he could throw the ball down the field, but it's got to be a step-in throwing motion for Baker. Let's talk about some of the things that didn't go too well in this game and like where the Niners can improve. Peachy, you went first. Mose, give me something that stood out to you where the Niners still struggle with, man. I got 155 things. I'm curious to know if you got one of those 155 things.
I hope I do. And we still don't know how to defend the screen.
I don't know if we ever want to defend the screen.
And it's do you in the title of do you pick your poison and just let teams have that?
Yes.
Good point.
Yep.
Do you pick your poison and just let teams have that, because they're not really beating us down the field?
That's what you take away.
We've shored up the run game. So if the only thing that you have is throwing these screens, like you're not gonna have a 12-play drive that's all screens. Like, I don't think
that's impossible. That's too much running.
Maybe the Philadelphia Eagles, because of that offensive line and the weapons that they have on the outside. Maybe they might be the only team that could get away with a 12-play drive that's nothing but screens. But there's no team that's going to have a whole entire drive full of screens. Eventually, you're going to have to do something else. Eventually, Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, they're going to diagnose that, right? So once teams come out of that and we force them to do something else, as you see, we're able to get to the quarterback and we're able to force turnovers. But more importantly than a team just running screens on us all day, I do worry about, a team that has better players, a better offensive scheme, better athletes, guys who are selling out for the team and who play like us, got receivers that block down the field, where a play might be dead and a 2-3 yard, check down screen, a dump off, turns into a 60-yard play for a touchdown and completely swings the momentum of a game. So, I mean, that's one thing I worry about if you're going to pick your poison and allow that to be the only thing that teams get away with. Obviously, being a fan and being stingy, I don't want a team to have nothing. We've had defenses here where you couldn't run, you couldn't pass, you couldn't throw screens, you couldn't do anything. So I would like for us to shore that up just a little bit better, to where teams don't think that they can use that to kind of build momentum, get the ball down the field, put themselves in scoring position, and potentially swing momentum in their favor.
All right. So we check off the screens. Definitely an area of improvement that they need. For some reason I see what the teams are doing. Like watching film, I see what they're doing. Like in the screen game, I know it's quick, but it's the way that they line their receivers up in formation, and due to our packaging, like who's on the field, like we go with the nickel, obviously Dre Greenlaw's out there. They're taking him off. They're taking him far away from the screen as possible. And so this is by design. Like they're taking him far away from the screen. At some point, I'm going to need Dre Greenlaw to trust I'm not telling him to leave his coverage, but if he's playing zone, I'm not telling him to leave that, but dang, like because he's so far out, it's hard for him to get back, and therefore those yards and the momentum is gained. I will say that I think that the Niners adjusted to the screen in this game a lot better than they have, to where they took the screen game away. Also, to go with the screen, I just feel like it's definitely an Achilles for the 49ers, but it's mainly when it's running back screens. I feel like they eliminate the tight end screens. They eliminate the wide receiver screens. They tackle well open in space. I don't know how they can tackle a wide receiver, but it's because of the spacing and who's out there in the space. That's where Isaiah Oliver comes in. Great tackler in space. But for some reason, it's those running back screens that's tearing us apart. Peachy, here it is. Trying to tell you, it was the double hitch. I was waiting. Let me rewind that again. I'm telling you. Woo! But, Peachy, give me an area where you feel like the Niners still need to improve.
Tackling. Oh, I didn't look this up. Oh, my fault. I'm going to look it up right now. You bet your bottom dollar while I am. All right, here we go. Because I want to know too. I forgot to look that up. All right, let's go defense. Missed tackles in this game. Well, Peachy, only 4. Still need to tackle though. 4 is a lot, but it's way less than 7, 10, 13. They got better. The Niners
had 13 missed tackles at some point this season.
Cincinnati, bro. Can't even blink right.
It's like we had a lot in the Vikings game too, didn't we?
I think we had 9.
Yeah, we had quite a few in the Vikings game.
Here, let me go to Cincinnati. Yeah, we had 13 in Cincinnati. You ready? We had 9 against the Vikings, and I believe 7. No, we had 10 with the Browns. But the Niners got 4. Mother freaking.
It seems like more, but
Hey, and then I'm not saying that to make Peachy sound like she was wrong, because it did seem like it. It's them screens. Mm-hmm. It's just bodies flying, not tackling. missing cut, dive, all that type of stuff. But listen, I felt like they improved in there, but they got better. So they've been listening to you, Peachy. They've been listening to you complain about rapping and tackling, and they got better. And they got better. 4, I'll take it. Hopefully next week it'll be 1. And then some point at this season be none. Right? Be none. That's what we're hoping for. So I feel like they got a little bit better because Fred Warner out there was a machine. He's no longer a monster. He's no longer a predator, alien, or whatever y'all want. He's a machine. He literally is the war machine. I mean, I'm talking 12 tackles. 10 of them were solo tackles. You get the half a sack. He had 2 pass deflections in this game. So Fred Warner was out there monstering or machining his way on the football field. You know what? I didn't give you anything offensively, but I felt like you guys talked about it. But I got to talk about the area that kills the 49ers. And it goes back to what Mose was talking about earlier in the show, and it's penalties. And Mose asked the question about, the Niners not being able to do this and not being able to do that. You know why? Because on a couple of drives, they get these penalties, and it throws the whole rhythm off. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if it's a false start. It doesn't matter if it's a holding offensively. It throws the rhythm of the offense off. It's so bad. And here's my thing. There was one particular drive where I'm like, Kyle, all right, it's 1st and 15, so run a screenplay. You're going to get at least 2 yards on a screenplay if they don't know it. And if they don't know that it's a screenplay, you probably get all 15 of them back. Worst case scenario, you get 2 yards or no yards, right? But if you can get half of that back, now it's 2nd and half of the 15. That's a much more. Now you could run it. Now you might get 2 or 3 yards on a run. And then it's 3rd and short. But for some reason, our coach be trying to get it'd be a pass throw. Then you'll get a sack, right? And that messes it up too. And so when I looked at the Niners, they still, in my opinion, struggle in the red zone. And but it starts with penalties, and it's just a downward spiral effect. And the season is only going to get more difficult as the season goes along. You got to find a way to negate some of these penalties. To me, that's a I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how you would fix that. How would you fix that, Mose and PG?
To me, it starts with Kyle. And for us to be a perennial playoff team, for us to be a team with aspirations of getting to the Super Bowl, we have to play disciplined football. We just have to start being more disciplined. And because we have a winning record, we're 7-3. Because we can put points on the board, because our offense is so efficient, because we can get to the quarterback, because we can create turnovers. Penalties are one of those things that we kind of overlook. We had 7 penalties for 66 yards, but it didn't ultimately hurt us because we had this game for the most part. Buccaneers got a late touchdown in the 4th quarter, but we had this game in the bag. At one point, it was 27-7. They had given up. We don't have to worry about it. What about the team that ain't going to give up?
Right.
What about the team like the Browns coming on with the number 1 defense with a chip on their shoulder, wanting to play for something?
I got a better team in the NFC. The Detroit Lions.
Feisty team.
But we've seen it, Mose and Peachy. We've seen it. We've seen them. Yeah. Before they were even built to this status, we saw how feisty they were. Mm-hmm. Yep. Same coach, though. So if their coach is feisty, the players around there are going to be feisty. They might be the NFC Cleveland Browns.
So,
with a better quarterback.
It has to come from Kyle. There has to be, and I mean, I don't know exactly what his coaching style is. I don't know because I don't know what the locker room environment is. I don't know how practices are run. Obviously, he's not gonna yell at them and come down on them like they're a bunch of high school kids. But there needs to be something that comes from top down, where we need to be more disciplined in these games. The Buccaneers were out of it for most of the game. Like I said, at one point it was 27-7. They ended the game with only 3 penalties for 19 yards. This is a team that was losing and that was pretty much out of this game by mid-third quarter. And they still left this game with only 3 penalties for less than 20 yards.
And can I add on to that real quick? They had the first 2 penalties of the game.
Yep.
So you mean to tell me that the Niners, this is a big thing, and I know people don't want to talk about this because we won. Why are we talking about it? What we do here is we focus on how being better. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry if y'all don't like that, but that's what we do on this show. We get down to the nitty-gritty because Mo said at the very beginning of the show, and we've said it prior times. Go back and watch one of these shows where I said I still don't think that the 49ers are what they should be. They're good, but they're not. They're still experimenting. That was my word, especially offensively. During the 5-game winning streak, because they weren't. We talk about pick your poison. We got all these weapons, and we're barely getting 30 points.
Listen, I just looked up currently the team's total penalties.
Oh, the Niners
right
at the
now
bottom.
As a team, we have 69 total penalties.
Yeah.
For 631 yards. Our opponents, so all of the teams that we've played combined, have 60 penalties for 494 yards.
So we out-penalized our opponents.
All of them put together.
Together.
I believe it.
That's a problem. We're averaging 63 yards in penalties a game.
Mm-hmm.
So Peachy, you're the head coach of this team. What would be your message to your football players as the head coach?
Great question.
My message would be that we have got to.
No. Say it like you're the coach. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't.
You sure you want me to do it? Maybe.
No, I do. I do want you to do it. Like I saw Any Given Sunday. I want you to do it. Like exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It would definitely be. Look, all this BS has got to stop. This can affect us down the long run. We all know what the goal is, right? The goal is to bring home a Lombardi. Cannot have all of these penalties, especially these crazy penalties where they're just more like mental, like mental hurdles. You can't have that out there. Our goal is to bring home a Lombardi, and this season is almost over, and we have to start closing up things. We have to start being a lot more disciplined. We have to pay close attention to what is going on. We have to be in the moment. We have to be present at all times, because too many penalties can cost games, and that's not what we want to happen. If you notice, in the 3 games that we lost, we have something in common. We have more penalties within those 3 games that we lost than the rest of the season. So we got to tighten it up. We got to button it up. I'm trying to be nice because I'm not.
That's
cursed,
fine. You want to be. You're in a nice mood. I get it. But I wanted people to hear like your perspective of it, because penalties change games. We get mad at the refs, but the Niners do dumb stuff to get penalties called. Now, a pass interference call, them's gonna happen. That's to the refs' discretion. But false starts aren't, offsides aren't, lining up in the neutral zone aren't.
Right.
Okay? Dumb penalties is the ones I'm talking about.
I literally watched Brandon Ayuk get a penalty yesterday, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, all you had to do was just, because they were talking about it. They didn't even get him for the beginning because they were both holding on to each other. What they got him for is later. Wasn't that Ayuk, the one that got that penalty? Who was it that got the offensive penalty yesterday that was holding on to the defensive player? He was
I remember
holding on to
Ayuk.
each other, and then
I know Ayuk got a penalty for OPI last week.
no, somebody, some
I know-
receiver got a penalty.
I think the one penalty that pissed me off, and I'm trying to figure out because I'm going through the 7 penalties. The first penalty was on George Odom. I thought that was BS because I watched that guy stick his leg out and draw the stuff. Now for me, Odom shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, there it is. He said it was on Ayuk on the CMC long run. It's the run that McCaffrey had, that long run, and it was called back.
The holding. It wasn't called back. The hold happened after the run. So he got the yards. So he got the yards, but then you get the penalty on the yards. So he got a 6-yard gain.
So to come back.
It was a 6-yard gain with a 10-yard penalty. Okay, that's why I don't remember that. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
But it was that one where they didn't get him in the beginning because they were both holding on each other, but that's when he kept holding on to him, and that's when they finally got him. So stuff like that, like we have to pay attention to things like that. You just can't do it. Like you mentally can't just leave that space. Like you have to, be a lot more disciplined, and because he knows that that's wrong. Like he's a vet, he knows that he was holding on to him too long.
It's a penalty.
Right.
Like at the end of the day, you're right. Like I'm not going to argue with you. It's a penalty. Like, and so for me, this is what like.
Hold on. Did they call it because he was holding on to him too long, or did he have his hands outside?
They called it. Period. Like I don't know what the call was. It was just holding.
He was holding on to him after he had let go of him. Was what it was, because they were holding on to each other, and then dude let go of him, and Ayuk still had his hands on him. That's why they called it.
See, I have a different perspective on that, because to me, as long as my hands are in an area that is a legal area, I don't know. He might cut back. He might not. I don't care if he's up there. I'm going to continue driving my block. So, again, we've talked about it on this show before. We can't have it both ways. We can't praise Ayuk for his intensity and his dog-like attitude, not only running routes and catching passes, but Ayuk will stick his face mask in anybody's chest and block the hell out of any DB in this league. You know what I'm saying? So we can't blame him for the intensity. If it was a legal block.
See, it wasn't an illegal block. It was literally a holding call.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Was his hands in an area outside the shoulder pad?
I have to go back and watch.
I gotta see it.
I don't remember all
so
of
whatever
that.
it was, he got called for the holding. So he broke a rule. They threw the flag. But again, those are to the officials' discretion. So I don't get too mad at those. Here's what I'm mad at: Kyle Juszczyk with the false start. He's the smartest person on the field. Why he getting the false start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Notorious JV. Hope you don't watch this, but that pissed me off. That's 5 yards.
Right.
True.
It'd be those little things. The refs
gotta know the snap count.
Yeah, the refs didn't tell him to flinch. Nick Bosa lining up off sides. Ref ain't telling him to line up off sides. It's the little things. So, as a coach, I'm curious to know if Kyle gets mad at Brock for throwing the ball into a tight window and getting a touchdown, he better be chewing the
right
out of these penalties.
You better get right.
You know what I mean?
Throwing off his rhythm, for putting him in his offense and long down in distances because you flinching, you false starting, you holding, you doing whatever you got to do, illegal procedure, lined up wrong, whatever. Guy covering up the tight end, not covering up the tight end, all of these small things, it comes back to a discipline issue. And if we can just get a little bit more discipline week after week after week, if we find a way to be our most disciplined at the end of the season going into the playoffs, I'm cool with that. But I think that process needs to start now. We need to start playing and showing the discipline that we want to see when we're talking about these games matter. When it's a matter of us moving on to the next round or going home, that needs to start now.
Yes.
We can't take those bad habits into the playoffs.
And like I said, like we can go through all 7 penalties. Yes, Hufanga got an offsides too. Yes, we can go through all 7. I thought Hufanga was literally having his worst game. I thought he was. Mose knows. Giving them your channel name because Diamond wants to subscribe to your channel. Diamond Dog Sports. Speaking of Diamond Dog Sports, let's read his super chat comment. He gave a couple of them, so let's
While
go
you
ahead and
read
read
the super chat comment, I'll just copy it.
That's even
I was
smarter.
about to do that, but that's fine.
All right. Diamond Dog Sports says Dolphins only beat teams with losing records. And then he says about the refs, he said the refs look for flags to throw on us. There's only so much we can do as a team. If it's going to be 14 yards, might as well make it count. I wonder, this can be true. So like anything y'all say can be possible, right? But I wonder if the refs, like, what did Kyle Shanahan do to these refs? Like, is it because they feel like Kyle Shanahan is a know-it-all or something? Because you know how he be going to the ref and be like, yo, this about to be a touchdown.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just curious to know, do other coaches do that too? That's the only reason why I'm
I
asking.
don't
Shut
think
up,
so.
GSU. This is just a question. It's just a question.
You know, but
It could
you know
be.
who else does that though?
That's why I asked. Andy Reid? No?
Kyle's
Bill
protege.
Belichick?
Kyle's protege.
Mike
McVay?
McDaniel?
Yes.
Yeah, but of course
Oh,
he
yeah.
does it.
They got video of Mike
Oh,
McDaniel
that
doing
was
the same
so
thing.
funny.
Yeah, but I expect
Doing the
him to do
same
it.
thing.
He's the disciple. I'm asking, does anybody that
Right.
is of the status of Kyle Shanahan, do they do that? Is that
I'm
cockiness?
sure they do.
Okay.
Sure they do.
Okay, but
Now,
see,
I don't think it's
Mike,
cockiness. I
it
think
was funny.
they know the game so well. They
But
like
do the
I-
refs
I-
get mad, Mose, is what I'm saying.
I'm sure some of them do. Some of them probably like, yo, just shut up and let me. I'm a referee for a reason. Let me call the game
Yeah.
how I call the game. But these coaches are like, yo, I drew this play up
Right.
specifically
I
for
know
this
how it's
player
supposed to go.
because I saw it on film.
Right.
So if you don't call this, I
Mhm.
know that you're not doing your job right because I drew it up specifically. Because if I don't
Mm-hmm.
get the penalty, I'm getting the touchdown. So
He
they know the
made-
game like the back of their hand. So I'm sure of it.
Mike made the refs so mad. That video is so awesome where he was sitting there and he walked over to the ref and he was like, watch this. He was like,
That I'm telling you,
time out.
I don't know.
You
It's
know
not
the
a
refs
conspiracy.
don't like that dude at all.
It's not a conspiracy. It's just it's a Wayne thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I be like, yo, how they see that, yo? Like, come on, man. How they see that? There's no way they saw that. It'd be the slightest hole they find it. There's
Right.
only 4 of them on the football field, right? 4 or 5 at the most. How they see that joint?
I know one way that they see some of them is because we stupidly are like right beside them. Like the one, for some reason, the one that's like right there that is on the line, like right there
Well,
on the
that was that
side.
hold play, right? That was the one you were
Yeah,
talking about.
it
that-
was right there in front of him. Like,
But
if he had
Brandon,
been
now
in
you
the middle,
he not looking at the. He ain't looking. I'll tell you how you take the refs out of the game. Just hit him in the head with the football, get him concussed, and then you're good. Didn't that happen in the movie? I don't know. But no, seriously, look, the Niners did what they needed to do. They got the dub. They improved to 7-3. Let's talk about Brock Purdy before we kind of move off there. We talked about that for an hour. Well, we was fixing sound for 2 hours. But let's talk about Brock Purdy. Listen. He had a great game. Had a great game against a top. Listen, they're top defenses, and then they're top scary defenses, and Tampa will always be a top scary defense as long as they got the interior pressure of Vita Vea and
Right.
freaking Shaquille Barrett on the outside. And then Yaya Diaby was I'm just saying, they got some players. I don't know why people think they're not good. It's because their secondary is terrible. But up front, that's tough. Right? It's tough.
yep.
I mean, they are 26th ranked defense.
Defense?
Yeah.
I mean, overall, because they giving up yards. But If you go as far as in pressures, I bet you they up there. If you go as far as in sacks, they probably up there. So it's because overall they give up tons of passing yards a game too, by the way. Yeah. I don't know. I thought Brock Purdy, they pressured him. They blitzed him. They got to him 4 times. Oh, speaking of getting to Brock 4 times, the only thing he got to work on is an escapability artist. He got to get the escape badge from Madden. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's freaking terrible, Mose and Peachy. It's terrible. I'm sitting here saying,
but it used to be good though.
But what happened? Oh, jinx! And I figured it out. Here's the conspiracy. Kyle Shanahan is in his head. He's telling Brock, if you throw one more intentional grounding, I'ma beat that ass. I promise you.
Yeah, but what helps you not throw intentional grounding? Escape in the pocket.
Right, but every time he escapes, he's looking to throw. And then what happens? Intentional grounding. Like happened 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, but that's because he escaped too late.
He escaped on time in this game, Mose. He still got sacked for negative 11 yards.
So if anything, I think it's Kyle telling him, stay in the pocket, don't improvise.
Either way, it's confusing.
That's what made us fall in love with him.
But either way, it's
how he improvises.
But that's what's confusing. That's my point. You right. I'm right. We put them together. We both right.
And confused as hell.
And still don't get it. I'm trying to figure out, what are they doing to Brock? Stop messing with his head. With all that, he's still playing really well. 21 for what? 24? 21 for 24? 20 or 21 for 25? 21 for 25, 333 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a perfect passer rating at 150. What is it? 8.3. How do you even get that number?
8.3. That's perfect. I don't know. I don't know who was the mathematician that said 158.3 is the perfect score for a quarterback. But
listen, let me tell you something.
They told us that was the number and that's what we go by. So
let me tell you something. On my Twitter this morning, somebody said exactly what you said. And when I tell you that the laughter that burst out of me from that, when that made my that said, yes, you're gonna have a great day. Because all day I've been trying to figure out where that number came from. Now, here's the cool part.
We have to do the research into the metrics.
So Steve Young, week 7, 1989, perfect passer rating. Joe Montana, week 10, 1989, went on to win MVP that year and Super Bowl MVP that year, perfect passer rating. Brock Purdy's had a game where he's being compared to 2 49er legend Hall of Famers. That's gotta say something, right? I don't know. And none of them had over 20 completions, right? Because I believe Montana was 19. I believe. Oh, wow. I don't know.
So this says right here, it says
12 attempts? He did it on 12 attempts? Wow. Steve Young. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Peachy.
I guess that the number, and I still don't understand like where the 1583 came from as far as like 1,583. But it says what they did was they divided that by 100. But I still trying to figure out like where the 1,583 came from. Because that's why they got the 158.3 from that, because of what they divided it by. They divided it by a perfect 100. And that's why they call it perfect. But the thing is I don't understand like where that number came from. Like what the 1,583 was. So I discovered half of it.
Here's what I'm gonna ask Brock Purdy to do. Whatever chip on the shoulder he playing with the past 2 weeks, just continue to play with the chip on the shoulder. Like he said it in the presser. He said, after that 5-game win streak, they kind of thought it was, they was the shit. Let's just keep it a buck. That's what they thought. That's how he felt, at least. And then he kind of stopped playing with the chip on the shoulder. I'm gonna need Brock Purdy to play with the chips and the cookies and whatever else he needs to put on his shoulder, because that Brock is the Brock that I think the fan base fell in love with. It's not that he's able to go out there and make plays, but he's still highly efficient. And so like that's what's going to keep this team afloat. And I think Brock Purdy's definitely doing a tremendous job. What is he, 15-4 as a 49er? Like 15-4, I think that's his record. I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy. It's crazy. So Brock played well. And if he continues to play well, if he finds a way to get this team deep into the playoffs, get this team to a Super Bowl, wins a Super Bowl, and we're going to have to start asking questions about how much Brock Purdy going to be asking for when it comes down to contract time. Like, because they're going to have to find a way to pay him. The 49ers will really have a franchise quarterback. Like, they really would have that guy. And it's something that none of us saw, and I love it because this was a 7th-round pick. Come on, what 7th-round pick is going to be this good? Other than, was Tom Brady the only other one that was 6th-round pick that ended up being one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time? I mean, like, no one could have seen this coming, right? No one. No one. All right, let's go ahead and kind of switch shit because we got a bunch of weapons. We talked about all of them. And we got Seattle coming up. And how let's talk about Seattle. Let's talk about they're going to have to find a way to pick their poison. So what we're going to do is we'll go around the table and you're going to give one of the poisons that they're going to have to pick from. Who do you think is going to be poisonous to the Seattle Seahawks defense? And then we'll go to their offense.
Debo.
So Peachy's just started to show off. She's going to go with Debo. Got it. Why? How?
Because Debo plays good against Seattle.
Let's get Debo's stats versus the Seahawks.
Really good.
Oh, it's going to be an interesting game. Debo Samuel. Oh, man, he's played the Seahawks 4 times. 4 times. These are his stats. Good gosh. 26 receptions off of 35 targets for 414 yards. He's averaging 15.9. He has 2 touchdowns receiving. He has 87 rushing yards off of 7 attempts, averaging 12.4 with a touchdown. So he has a total of 3 touchdowns against Seattle Seahawks.
It's not just like what's in the stats. It's also just the way that he's able to be like, elusive is probably not the right word, but it's hard for them. Like in the past, it's been hard for Seattle to like tackle him or get him down or anything like that in the game. He's had some where he's actually like done spin moves against this team and everything. So yeah, definitely.
I think Debo, just when he's on the football field and healthy, and I think Debo's pretty darn healthy right now.
Yes.
And this will be the second game after coming back from the third game coming back from the injury. And you saw how they used him against Jacksonville, but then in this game, they actually used him as a wide receiver, which I thought was pretty cool. He ran the ball once.
Yep.
Debo's a good choice. Debo's a good poison. But that's the thing. Jerry, he says, but has Debo been Debo? I haven't seen it, and that's the point. I think that's what Kyle Shanahan is doing. I mean, I think Kyle Shanahan is just manipulating the hell out of these NFL teams. And the fact that you haven't seen Debo be Debo, the fact that you haven't seen that is the simple fact that you still got to prepare for it. And that's what Kyle wants you to do. Be unprepared. And then that's when he unleashes the Debo. So
conspiracy theory.
Okay.
These past few years.
Oh, this is your conspiracy theory.
Yeah, no, this is mine. These past few years, Kyle has worn Debo out in the regular season.
Yeah, he has.
To where by the time we get to the playoffs, Debo's going to suit up and play, but he's beat up and he's not 100%.
He's beat up.
What if Kyle's saying, listen, rock with me on this one. We already got you paid. You got your money. You take care of little Tyshawn, take care of your family. You good. We need you healthy for the playoffs. So we'll keep you involved. We'll get you your touches, all this kind of stuff like that. but we want you 100% when we get to this tournament. And I think Debo he's been featured in the Super Bowl. He's been featured in NFC Championship games. If that's the conversation that was had, Debo can stand on Kyle's word that when it comes time to it, and we're in this tournament, and we got to get to a bowl. I talked about it a couple of weeks ago on this show. We saw how Debo was at the end of that NFC Championship game against the Rams.
The emotions,
he was sitting on the bench, and the tears were just flowing from his face because he had so much more to give. Right? We talked about him. I don't think the Rams did much to eliminate him or to take him away. He just didn't get the ball in the second half of that game. So it could be a conspiracy theory that Kyle is doing something opposite to what he normally does. And I think everybody was worried about the overutilization of CMC. But I think when we get to the playoffs and Debo is 100% and we can still utilize CMC and Elijah Mitchell's back healthy and we still got BA as looking like a number one wide receiver and George Kittle is a matchup nightmare for most safeties and linebackers. That's just my conspiracy theory. Maybe Kyle is really saving him until we get to the playoffs. And that's probably when we'll see Debo be the Debo that we normally see.
I love it. I love it. Mose, pick your poison. Poison.
Well, Peachy picked Debo. Listen, prime time, nationally televised, an American holiday. Give me the one and only people's tight end. Give me George Kittle.
When I tell you this dude has
probably no Jamal Adams. He loves playing against Quandre Diggs. Bobby Wagner is long in the tooth. Jordan Brooks is not a good coverage linebacker. And I think if you try to put Devin Bush on him, Devin Bush and your defense is going to get exposed. But again, like I said, I think George Kittle wants a slice of that turducken. So I'm going Kittle.
45 catches for 655 yards, 4 touchdowns in his 10-game career matchup with the Seattle Seahawks. And if you go since Kyle Shanahan's been here, I mean, this is crazy, right? Like you look at it and you're saying to yourself, yo, he's gonna find a way to use George Kittle. And here's the thing that we're not talking about. The connection between Brock and Kittle now has kind of like ignited. And so now if Brock sees these matchups where Kittle is wherever, he's in the middle of the field, like Brock has zero fear of throwing it into zone and finding man. This is where Kittle is going to feast. And it's possible, man. 655 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's becoming a red zone target now. I like it. I like it a lot. I do. I would go. I want to go with the obvious guy, but what if I tell you Brandon Ayuk has another crazy game? I don't care about their DBs. I don't care about Woolen. I don't care. None of those matter. They don't. They don't. They don't matter. Like it doesn't matter who you put on Brandon Ayuk. He's gonna find a way, if you get the ball in his hand, to cook. And I wanted to go with CMC, but I feel like they're going to be ready for CMC. 19 catches, 243 yards. He only has a touchdown against them. But I just feel like he's surging, and I don't think teams are still well prepared. They can double him. They can bracket him. They can try to man up on him. And I like the physical. We're going to get some physical play from their DBs in this game. Physical, they got speed. What's the rookie they got from Illinois? Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun.
He's cooking too.
I don't give a so is Brandon Ayuk. This is about to be fun. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? This is about to be fun. You know what they said about Dallas defense when they was cooking. I know they lost their guy. I hear you. I know they lost their guy for the season, but he used to get cooked up. This is a routed up game. This is going to be a game where I feel like he going to be able to route some dudes up every now and then.
Definitely.
You know, so I'm gonna go with Brandon Ayuk, but there's gonna be the standard players out there. Wouldn't be surprised if Christian McCaffrey gets back into the 100-yard carry thing, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe we see more of Elijah Mitchell. And you had your conspiracy about your boy and why he's you. What if Kyle Shanahan is doing the same thing with Elijah Mitchell, because he's been banged up for the past couple of seasons and he knows the type of explosiveness he can get. He had the first explosive play against Tampa Bay for 13 yards. The blocking was superb. But I'm just saying, like, what if that's what we're going to get? What if the second half of the season we get the surgence of Elijah Mitchell? And now, go ahead, because I thought you was go ahead.
I'm gonna just bring your point home.
Okay.
Because I'm feeling this conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
What happened last season?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When Brock took over
Mm-hmm.
and CMC was finally, fully immersed into the 49ers offense, there was a 3 or 4 game stretch where we saw nothing but Christian McCaffrey in the first half. And the defense is going in halftime, making adjustments to stop Christian McCaffrey. And all of a sudden, no CMC, we see Elijah Mitchell. And in that 3 or 4 game stretch before he got hurt again, Elijah Mitchell coming out in the second half, being that change of pace, being a different back that the defense didn't see yet.
Yep.
He was rattling off 4 or 5 yards of carry and really, really elevating our run game and keeping our run game fresh in the second half. So it is possible. Now, I know Kyle wants to win, and I know he's not going to sacrifice wins for the sake of some conspiracy theory plan that we're cooking up here on Nitty Gritty Niners. But it could very well be possible that he's trying to hold him back, get him some touches, make sure that he can get in the rhythm, get in football shape. But we're really going to see the Elijah Mitchell we saw last year coming in the second half of games and really elevating that run game. Maybe we don't see that until the playoffs. So now you got to worry about Debo, who's going off again. You still got to worry about CMC because at any time he touched the ball, whether it be via run or catching the ball out of the backfield, he can take it to the house. But now y'all focus on all of these other guys, and now Elijah Mitchell in the second half punching you in the mouth for 4 or 5 yards of carry. Your conspiracy theory sounds legitimate to me.
It's all about picking your poison. I think the Niners, they got a bunch of liquids just chilling on the shelf right now. And Kyle, being this mastermind that he is, I think he was experimenting. That's why I use the word experiment. He's a little dab here. Nah, this ain't gonna work. Oh, Elijah Mitchell not healthy. Give me Jordan Mason. Oh, Mitchell's healthy again. Okay, we got to get him into football shape. Remember, y'all keep forgetting Mitchell missed everything at the beginning of the season. No camp, no nothing. Comes into the game, doesn't seem to have that explosiveness that everybody was saying. Cool, no problem. But he's got to. It's not that he doesn't have it. He just needs to get into shape. Every time the ball is hyped, boom, it was guys in the backfield. I kind of like what Kyle Shanahan is doing. And when we needed Elijah Mitchell the most was in that Philly game, even though we lost Brock Purdy, but we needed him the most in that game. That was the one game he couldn't play, and it just changed up everything. What if he was in there on that protection of a play? What if there was extra, like you know what I mean? It's just, there's a bunch of what ifs. We're not going to have that conversation, but look, the Niners, Seahawks is going down this Thanksgiving. We about to dip up out of here because this game is on. I got to get y'all predictions on the game. Like, what's going to go down?
I think Geno Smith is going to want to suit up and play. I don't know yet, though. His injury seemed not significant, but, he might miss a game or two. And then they're likely they'll be without Kenneth Walker at least a game. He had a similar injury to what Christian McCaffrey had with that oblique. With their two top offensive weapons, or their quarterback and their running back being injured, I don't think we overlook this team because they are a division opponent, but I don't think they're at 100% strength, which, bodes well for us. I say 34-17 Niners on Thanksgiving.
All right, I like it. Peachy, your take on the upcoming Thanksgiving prime time lowdown showdown around town?
According to Pete Carroll, Gino is planning on playing or trying to make it a go. So I would say what'll happen is he'll start out the game. I don't know if he's going to finish the game. Depends on how much 49ers that pass rush roughs him up. He may not do it.
Don't see Seattle's offensive line is as good as Tampa's.
Unless something changes, I think Gino's going to go. But it's not going to matter. This pass rush is tired of all the talk that they got outside and all that stuff. And I think they're going to be in improvement point mode. One is we're trying to still keep our top position in the NFC West. That's the first thing. So it's a divisional game, but more importantly than that, it's like a placement. Like you got to make sure that you convincingly take over the NFC West. So I do see a 30 Purdy game. It's Seattle, man. It's Pete Carroll. I'm going to say 37-20.
I like it. Very good predictions from both of you. Listen, this Niners defense don't give up more than 13 points. They gave up 14 to Tampa, and I know they were pissed off about that. I feel like the Niners defense, they have some standards. Obviously, there was a couple of penalties that aided it and abetted in helping them get those points, get the ball right down there. I mean, you get to the half an inch yard line and you can't punch it in the NFL, your ass, the whole team should be banned. So that's what ended up happening. But I will say that I think the Niners defense is going to really recollect from what happened at home against Tampa and bring that energy on the road. They'll be rocking their throwback whites, and I think they're gonna go out there and set a statement. I got 13 points that the Niners defense is giving up, but I have them scoring 31 points on offense. I think it's gonna be one of those games where it's gonna be close the first half. Y'all gonna have to simmer down. It's probably gonna be like 13-3 or something like that in the first half or something. It's gonna be a weird score, and then next thing you know, the Niners will pick it up, and then Seattle will score late in the game. Listen, Faithful, if you're going to be at this game, I'm going to charge you to take away that 12th man. I'll probably be able to do my part. I'm going to be out there with the 49ers Rush Road Trip crew. We'll be doing the tailgates Wednesday. We have the party and then the tailgate on Thursday. We're going to have a great time. Peachy and Mose, this was an excellent show. There was one question that I did want to get to. First of all, I wanted to give a shout out to my man, Lo Jackson. He says, Wayne, your video was slapping, bro. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, man. Do us a favor and share that joint.
Yes.
On wherever you at, man, share it for us, man. We're trying to get it out there, working on getting the video out there much more. There's so much going on during football season. I didn't realize it was going to be that much, but hey, we appreciate the love and the support. Theodore Wells, though, says, why do y'all think Mooney is struggling so much? Is he washed? Or is he just not good unless impressed? Man, what y'all think? Mooney has to get back to balling. They be picking on him now. For real. From Theodore Wells. What are your takes on this? Let's go with Peachy first, Mose, and then I'll close it out.
I do see Mooney on the struggle bus. I don't know if it's because he's washed. I don't think Mooney's washed. But I definitely think that it could be, because of what position he's at, or what he's doing right now on the field. But I don't think he's washed.
Okay. Mose?
I'm glad he brought this up because I wanted to talk about it. I'll say this. I think it's in his head. I don't know what that reason is. One of the things that I kind of thought about is, is he pressing or was he pressing earlier on in the season because the pass rush wasn't getting home? Last year, the pass rush was so efficient that he didn't have to cover for long. And, he got gift wrapped a lot of, his interceptions because of how we were able to get after the passer. This year, early on in the season, our pass rush was not as effective. And so maybe, him having to cover a little bit longer, maybe him trying to compensate for that lack of pass rush, you're seeing some of the issues that we see. If anything's going to help him snap him out of that, it's going to be this game against the Seahawks, because we know he's going to be lined up against DK Metcalf. Him and DK Metcalf do not have a pleasant history, and I know DK is going to be running his mouth. And if anything, that's going to wake Mooney up and have him play with a level of focus, because you got this man talking trash, trying to be overly aggressive, trying to get you out of your game. If there's anything that's going to get him right, it's going to be DK Metcalf and him playing against the Seahawks. So I'm hoping to see him lined up across from him. I'm hoping that DK does the wrong thing, opens his mouth, gets a little mouthy, talks a little bit of trash, and hopefully that snaps Mooney into a level of focus to where he plays a little bit better. He's not playing as handsy. He's getting his head around, finding where the ball is, and making plays on the ball. I mean, he had a good play yesterday where he got his hand in and he was able to rip the ball away from the receiver falling down to the ground. But I feel like he's just being a little too handsy sometimes, and why he's getting those PI calls. So I think DK, in his mouth and his attitude, is going to be one of the ones that get him right.
Yeah, real good takes. I don't know. I think he's just playing. I think he's playing solid cornerback football in the NFL, because there are a whole bunch of people that's worse, and we could be worse without him. So when I look at what he does well, it is man. That's what he is strong in, and then you enter zone and concepts in zone, and that's where you're gonna struggle, because now you're playing in space. And so, that's always been his Achilles. That's always been his area of weakness. And in that, he's getting these penalties, 10 penalties. That's where he has to improve. But the holds, the PIs. But I mean, listen, the PBUs are there, man. It's 9 PBUs, man, and most of his PBUs would have been touchdowns. He's breaking passes up. And if you watched the game yesterday, I mean, he was targeted 11 times. Okay, he gave up 7 receptions, but did you guys see the receptions? I mean, they were crossing routes. It was like he was playing Nick. He was essentially following a guy across the field after getting picked and trying to make a play. It's not straight man-to-man, mano-a-mano. And them plays, he wins those battles. It's the other plays where he's struggling. So it's kind of what they're forcing him to play. I definitely like the matchup this week, because you ain't going to get any of that from DK Metcalf. It's going to be man up, man up.
Right.
This week, Diamador Lenore is going to have that. Jason Verrett better be. Somebody got to play that slot. It can't be Isaiah Oliver, because Tyler Lockett will cook. So, to me, that's where the Niners are going to have to focus inside. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to have to figure it out. And can we give a quick shout out to 2 Michigan players? Ambry Thomas has been playing damn good football for the past couple of weeks, and Jake Moody ain't missed since shit. Now, I ain't trying to jinx him, but he looks like he's got his mojo back. He's 16 for 19 on the season. What's that percentage, Mose? You good with math? What's 16 for 19?
Oh, damn.
Never mind. Peachy?
Yeah. The numbers ain't.
What's 16 for 19? Somebody tell me what that is.
It's like 80-something%, 70-something%.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Yep.
It's a high percentage.
I'm just saying.
I'm busting out my calculator. 84.2%.
Oh, yeah. It's what?
84.2%.
That's awesome.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good for a kicker that missed kicks. Now, I still think he may struggle under pressure, but let's not put him in the pressure moments. Not if we can control not putting them under pressure, let's not put them under pressure. Meaning that let's not force them to have to kick a ball where teams still got timeouts to ice him. That's the only time he's struggling, during icing mode. It's weird.
Well,
Guys,
I would like to, since we didn't get to the defense, I would like to give a shout out to my Buckeyes because I think
There we
each of
go.
them.
There you go,
are-
Peachy. There we go, Peachy.
Both of them, I believe, are going to at least get one sack on Geno Smith, Drew Lock, whoever is out
better.
there. I believe that they are going to.
They absolutely
shine.
better. They absolutely
since-
better. Because I don't like their offensive
Two games
line.
they played together.
Right.
Both of them, two
Yep.
games they played together. Both of them got sacks in each of those games.
And I don't like Seattle. I don't think their offensive line is. I thought Tampa Bay had a stout offensive line, and I know that Chase Young got a sack late in the game, but he still got one. I know that
Still
Nick
got one.
Bosa got a half a sack in the game, but he still got a half a sack early.
No, he got a hole.
Nah, Bosa and Fred Warner split that, I thought.
I don't think anybody else had a half because it only shows
I thought Bosa and Warner.
and Greenlaw with the half.
I
I
thought
think
Bosa.
Nick got a solo sack. I thought.
I didn't see a solo
So
sack.
So Armstead has one, Bosa has one, Chase Young has one, and then Fred Warner, Drake Greenlaw each have a half a sack.
I thought the half. So they gave Bosa the sack,
Mhm.
and when did and then they gave.
On that strip sack fumble, they
They
gave that
gave-
to Bosa.
No, they gave Fred Warner the fumble, but they gave Bosa the sack. Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Bosa got
gotcha.
the sack,
Okay.
and then Warner came with the punch out. They gave him the fumble.
Where does it say that at? I don't see that on PFF.
I'm on ESPN.com. So if you go to the box score,
So I think people got it wrong because it was Bosa. I didn't see Bosa and Fred Warner on a sack.
that's why Bosa got one. And
No,
then
I did
Warner
see
and
Fred Warner and
Greenlaw-
Bosa on the sack. Is what I'm trying to say. I don't remember him and Greenlaw being in on the sack.
Yes, Diamond Dog Sports. We can give a shout out for Arizona.
We did a
for
whole
IU.
segment on Brandon Ayuk. What are you talking
we
about?
did the whole show.
Only reason why I gave the Michigan players a shout out is because everybody wanted to throw Ambry Thomas under the bus.
And don't act like it's not Michigan versus Ohio State week.
I wasn't even thinking about that, honestly. I swear to God. And everybody wanted to throw Jake Moody. They wanted to fire Jake Moody. Remember? I ain't hear nobody talk shit about Chase Young or Nick Bosa. That's why I bigged up the Michigan players. I wasn't even thinking about the game on Saturday. I almost forgot. I'm all about Thursday. My bad. Got to get through Thursday first. But yeah, Ohio State about to get that work. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the show. It's Nitty Gritty Niners Talk every Monday. I don't have to wish. Wishing
No
on
Harbaugh.
the star.
Hey,
Nitty gritty, this that Niners
Mo's
talk.
nose. PG,
Nitty gritty,
fair
this
to
that
God.
Niners
It's
talk.
about that time. Everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's nose, peachy, breezy, and fair to God. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you Niner Talk. We two gorilla silverback, nah, silver
You know it's
hawks.
busting the discussion cause we get it in. Every time you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win. The faithful going hard. It's Wayne, Breezy, Peachy, Mo's, Nose, and fear to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, this the Niners talk. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the Niners talk. We outline players up in chalk. Nitty gritty, this the Niners talk. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the Niners talk. Niners talk. Nitty gritty, this the Niners talk.